Today, we're breaking down two explosive stories: Florida's war against Andrew Tate and the absolute disgrace we witnessed from Democrats last night when President Trump acknowledged a 13-year-old cancer survivor and his powerful story before the joint Congress meeting. And instead of showing a shred of decency, Democrats sat stone faced. And if that wasn't disgusting enough, an MSNBC host just made a vile comment about this same child, proving once again how far the media will go to smear anyone connected to Trump. Buckle up, because this one is going to get heated. Welcome back to the Kharisma Show. Can I tell you how livid I am feeling right now? You would never imagine. Andrew Tate lands in Florida, and suddenly Ron DeSantis has a problem. The same governor who says Florida is where the woke goes to die. So, what happened to free speech? Apparently, he had a different thought when it came to Andrew Tate. Take a listen to this craziness.
Is he welcome here? What the state do? Send him back to Romania or whatever?
Well, we have no involvement in that. I read about it through the media. Clearly, the federal government has jurisdiction, whether they want to rebuff his entry into the United States, and I have confidence that whether it's Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem, that they will be looking at that. I do know our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, is looking at what state hooks and jurisdiction we may have to be able to deal with this. But the reality is no, Florida is not a place where you're welcome with that type of conduct in the air. And I don't know how it came to this. We were not involved. We were not notified. I found out through the media that this was something that was happening. Okay, guys.
First of all, Ron DeSantis is a liar. Okay? He was fully aware that Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate had landed. They were tipped off. I'm sure it's probably from the Romanian government, because when Andrew Tate and his brother landed at the airport in Florida, their phones and laptops were seized. And he shared this last night with Candace Owens when they did a live stream when this latest development got underway, where it says that there's going to be a preliminary investigation into them. What crime did they commit? You don't have to love Andrew Tate. You don't have to love Tristan Tate. But just think about this for a second. You have a brother. I'm sure you have brothers, a father, uncles, male family, husbands, boyfriends in your life. Would you like this to be done to you? You don't have to love Andrew Tate to come to the conclusion. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to come to this conclusion that this is wrong. Absolutely wrong. You know, it's okay that the state is fine with big corporations exploiting people, but a guy like Andrew Tate crosses the line. Like, what did he do when he landed in Florida? And by the way, he's an American citizen. Okay, he was born in the US. Makes no sense. And you're going to hear now when Andrew Tate went on the Patrick Beck podcast and how he responded to Ron DeSantis, because Andrew Tate is not taking this quietly. So here's what he had to say about Ron DeSantis.
Doesn't report the news. Gentlemen, please understand, the media prepares the public for the news. That's what they do. The media starts saying, you're going to die from COVID. Everyone's dying from COVID. COVID's scary. We might have to lock you in your house. We'll try not to, but we might have to. Prepare for maybe a lockdown. They soften your mind to the idea of things. They don't just come along and say, lock in your house, because people will rebel. They soften your mind to it. They softened people's brains to the idea of a Diddy arrest on purpose because it was all set up and decided. Just like they did to me, because it is all set up, it is all orchestrated. That's why I do not believe what the media wants want me to believe. I'm not emotionally reacting to their stories because that's what they're intending. Instead, I'm analyzing, why did this appear now? Why has this been said now? Why are they putting it out today? What is their further intentions? Why him? Why not the others? Why this one clip of Andrew Tate saying something which could be interpreted badly? Why are we not talking about Andrew Tate's charity, TatePledge.com, where he gives $25 million a year away? Why are we not talking about the dog shelters he runs in Romania? Why are we only talking about an old joke he made 10 years ago? Why? Nobody thinks why for any of this. And then they get played like a fool. And before you know it, they're being dragged down the path, thinking Andrew Tate's the worst man in the world with no criminal convictions. Before you know it, even senators, even governors of great states like Florida are not smart enough to stand up and answer a media question without falling for the trap, which makes them incompetent and unfit for leadership if they can't resist matrix programming. Do you want a governor who can be tricked by the matrix? Because I don't. Do you want an AG who's going to, instead of trying to solve the crime in Florida, find an innocent man and waste his time trying to put him in jail? Because I don't. But this is the world we're now living in. All because the matrix can control people with a MSM, which should be completely defunct by now. Who's even watching this shit? Who even cares what they say? Who gives a shit? Who believes a single word from MSM? Who? Slaves.
There you have it. Andrew Tate, he lays it out perfectly. He said that Ron DeSantis was incompetent. And it doesn't show in that clip here, but when he gave the full response to what Ron DeSantis said, he said that the system is trying to make an example out of him. And if they can do it to Tate, they can do it to anyone. That includes to your brothers, your fathers, your cousins, your uncles, your every male or man that's in your life. This can be done to you because this man was never convicted. You may not like his stance. You may not like his lifestyle. But when lawfare, and you've done it to President Trump, is brought against someone, a man, especially men, without concrete evidence, just somebody decide we're going to look into him because of his situation in Romania, this is ridiculous. But if that wasn't enough, last night, the Florida's Attorney General is now targeting the brothers. As you remember, may I remind you of what Ron DeSantis said? He was going to ask the AG to look into them. So now they're targeting them with a criminal case of what? Okay, seriously? But take a listen to what this puppet had to say about the situation.
Yeah, look, these guys have themselves publicly admitted to participating in what very much appears to be soliciting, trafficking, preying upon women around the world. Many of these victims coming forward, some of them minors, people can spin or defend however they want. But in Florida, this type of behavior is viewed as atrocious. We're not going to accept it. They chose to come here and set their feet down in this state. And we're going to pursue every tool we have within our legal authority to hold them accountable. So we are in the process today. We have secured and executed subpoenas and warrants, and we're going to continue to move forward with full force of law. This is an ongoing criminal investigation, and we're going to use every tool we have to ensure that justice is served.
Do you open a criminal investigation?
There is an active criminal investigation, yes.
Do you believe that can you give me any details of what?
I can't comment on a pending investigation, but what I can tell you is if these guys did criminal activity here in Florida, we will go after them with the full force of law and hold them accountable.
What? If they've opened an investigation and no crime has been committed, make that make sense. In what normal world do we see this BS? They haven't committed a crime. They've opened an investigation, preliminary investigation, so that that saying, show me the man, I'll show you the crime. This is exactly what's going on here. And if you who are watching this and is okay with this, then there's something wrong with your mentality and your outlook. You do not have to love him, but you need to come to the understanding that this is wrong on so many levels. And it's just friggin' ridiculous because Florida is supposed to be this so-called land of the free, and it's pulling the same stunt we expect to see from the leftist run states. This isn't about justice. This is about shutting down voices that challenge the establishment. Okay? Moving on, because like I am so fired up right now. But can we just talk about something even more disgusting? Last night, President Trump shared about a 13-year-old cancer survivor, DJ Daniel, and his battle with cancer before Congress, the joint Congress meeting. He wants to be a police officer when he grows up, if he survives. This child, 13 years old, have had 13 brain surgeries. Okay? Let that sink in. 13 surgeries on his brain. And President Trump honored him with an honorary Secret Service badge. A very powerful moment, right? But guess who refused to clap or stand up for this brave, brave child, this brave little boy? The Democrats. Take a listen to what transpired last night.
He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Powerful, right? Well, the Democrats never stood up. They never clapped for this child. A child that's fighting for his life. And the left couldn't even pretend to care. Let that sink in. And I hope that people who have voted for these Democrats and believe in their ideologies and what they stand for, but then again, they don't stand for anything. I hope you see how they treated this 13-year-old child. They couldn't even set aside their personal feelings for Trump, okay, to honor and acknowledge a child, because he's a child, a brain cancer survivor. God knows how much more time he has on this earth. He's lived another 6 years longer when he was diagnosed with 5 months to live. We don't know. We don't know if he's going to live to become a young man and go on to have a family and actually become a real police officer. We don't know that. And the time that he has here on earth is precious. And I applaud President Trump and his team for honoring him and for giving him this honorary Secret Service position to make him, to lift him up and boost him up. Okay? Like they couldn't even set aside their stinking feelings to honor this child. Let that sink in. It's very sick and demented. But you know what? If that wasn't bad enough, An MSNBC host just made one of the most vile comments. And it's like, I sometimes I just have no words for these people. She actually hopes that this child, yes, the 13-year-old child that I just showed you here with cancer, never have to defend the Capitol against Trump supporters. This is beyond sick. But I'll let you listen to this in her own words. Take a listen.
This was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
What? This is freaking unreal. You hope he doesn't live to commit suicide? What? Unreal. The media hates Trump so much that anyone that's connected, even a child with cancer connected to him, that he just honored, they have a problem with it. Just sick and disgusting and demented people. Now, moving on to our reaction segment. Today, I'm going to be reacting to Andrew Tate actually giving an update on the current situation and how does he actually feel about this targeting by Ron DeSantis and his bulldogs and his disgusting way of lawfare. Let's take a listen to this.
After 6 years of being called a terrible person and a sexual predator, I've never had a trial. I haven't beaten a trial. I haven't gone to trial and won. No, I've never been to trial ever. Every single nation state which came out with this garbage, which is pushed by George Soros funded NGOs, has attempted to find evidence to put me in jail. And they never, Romania, England, never found enough evidence to even get to trial. 6 years I've been waiting to prove my innocence, and I have never, ever had a trial. What I've had is accusations. What I've had is Twitter detectives thinking they know more than judges. What I've had is people bringing up decade-old videos saying I said something which was uncouth 10 years ago. But a comedian can make a joke on YouTube pretending he's racist or a cowboy. It doesn't make him racist or a cowboy. YouTube videos are not real. You need victims, you need medical records, you need proof, you need a date, a time, a where, a when. You need people to testify against you. You need evidence. I have never even had a trial ever. And I've been begging my lawyers, get me to trial. Take this to trial. I want to prove I'm innocent. Let's get all the facts out there. Let's go to trial. Let's show that I'm completely innocent from head to toe. And no nation state has ever managed to even get me in court. All they've managed to do is use preliminary investigations, preliminary arrests, preventative measures, bail, seizures, taking my stuff and destroying my life for 6 long years. And I have never, ever had a trial.
He's never been convicted of anything.
And now there's people sitting here screaming about how I'm a terrible person and I had to go to jail forever. And Florida's going to take me to trial. Well, we're going to see. And I like to actually think that once Florida fails, people are going to finally wake up and realize they've been tricked. Guys, remember what they did to Trump? Remember his accusations? Yep. Remember calling him a convicted felon? Trump was convicted. I haven't even had a trial. And he was innocent. Remember COVID? Remember all those lies? Remember every lie they told you about the Vietnam War, the Iraq War, 9/11? Everything they've ever said ever is a lie. All they do is lie. Now they're telling you I'm a bad person. I've never even had a trial. Wake up. Wake up. Perhaps you can't understand my jokes. Perhaps you don't think my jokes are funny. Perhaps you cannot decipher the difference between hyperbole or exaggeration and the truth. That is a you issue. That is a you issue. I've been in Florida for 6 days, sitting on a chair on my laptop and did 1 podcast. So I am
flabbergasted as to what case they're going to pull out of their ass. But I have never been to trial ever. I have no criminal record in any country on the planet at all. I've never been convicted of any crime anywhere, ever. Ever. So I look forward to how this all plays out. And I have a strong suspicion it's going to massively backfire in my enemies' faces. Because when this fails, along top of all the other failures, finally they're going to have to wake up and accept, yes, I'm more popular than you. Yes, I'm richer than you. Yes, I'm funnier than you. Yes, I'm the hero of the world. Nobody gives a shit who you are. And I'm not actually a bad person.
There you have it. It's wild to me, okay, what's going on with him. Now let's hear from real Americans in our raw and unfiltered segment and their reaction to actually what's happening. Last night, there was quite a lot of individuals who had a lot to say about the disgusting reaction to the 13-year-old when he from the Democrats. Take a listen.
I cannot believe the Democratic Party didn't stand up and applaud for that 13-year-old cancer survivor. That is ridiculous. I can't believe y'all would just sit down, not stand up and applaud for him when Donald Trump is trying to make his dreams come true. This is insane. For those that don't know, Donald Trump ended up giving a 13-year-old brain cancer survivor an honorary Secret Service validation. You know, shout out to Donald Trump for doing that. Black kid, by the way. Oh, y'all keep saying he's racist. Donald Trump is a racist, this and that. A black kid, by the way, he did that. You know, and the Democratic Party, they didn't stand up. They didn't clap for anything that Trump said. They didn't stand up, cheer, nothing. They didn't even stand up when the Laken Riley law and all of that was put out. They didn't stand up, nothing. Their hatred for Donald Trump is oozing out of their skin. And it's showing you just what type of politicians we are dealing with in America. They are disgusted that Elon Musk is going through the Treasury Department and doing a forensic audit and finding out all of the bloat and the waste that they've been doing all of these years. They are disgusted about that. Elizabeth Warren, one of them, was she worth like $12 million or something like that off of a $200-something thousand a year salary, but she's worth that much money? But she's disgusted at Elon Musk for finding out all of the government spending that's been going on and the waste. She couldn't even stand up. These people are literally insane. And it's getting to the point, y'all Democrats out there, if y'all are rocking with that, y'all are insane. Did y'all not, how soon did we forget? They just tried to get rid of TikTok. Did y'all remember that? That's the party that did that. That was the Joe Biden administration that did that. He tried to do it right before Trump got in office.
Absolutely true. It was disgusting. And moving on to another man who's just appalled by their behavior. It's just disgusting is just a mild word to describe it. Take a listen.
I just want to know one thing. If you're a Democrat, for instance, how do you justify them not standing or applauding for any of the topics or things that he stood for? Like, how do you not stand or applaud when he brings up protecting women after the Laken Riley incident? How do you not stand and applaud when he brings out a young boy with brain cancer and makes him a federal agent? How do you not applaud and stand when he says he hopes to balance the federal budget for the first time in 25 years? How do you not stand when he brings up protecting women, specifically men and women's sports? How do you not stand when he says he wants to bring about peace and end the wars? You see the point I'm getting at here. How can you be a Democrat and stand for anything? Even if you don't like Trump, okay? The American people are watching this and they care about what your opinion is and how you stand with these issues, no matter who the president is. I just think that this party's done. I don't know what else to tell you. They've gone so far left, they have no answer for anything that they believe in.
They are done. Now let's hear what Sean Hannity had to say about this disgusting behavior.
Democrats tonight were so pathetic, they couldn't even stand for Laken Riley's family. Jocelyn Nungary, his mother, a slain officer's wife, Stephanie Diller. They couldn't even stand for a beautiful 13-year-old cancer survivor who dreams of being a police officer and tonight became a Secret Service agent, DJ Daniel. He said, "This is my 5th time at a joint address from President Trump. And sadly, there is nothing this president could do or say that would make these Democrats stand and cheer. This has now become a party of rage and hate, a radicalized party reduced to a collective temper tantrum, sitting on their hands, doing nothing for the American people. But tonight, this is also a defeated party. No solutions, no coherent message, no plan for the future, simply reduced to political stunts and smears and outright lies."
There you have it from Sean Hannity, dropping facts as usual. And as we wrap up, normally we have the Savage Trump segment to wrap everything together. But today I want to use that opportunity to showcase this 13-year-old boy, because I think a lot more people need to learn about him and to really honor him and honor his courage and his strength. Take a listen to an excerpt he said in an interview recently.
You wanna know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together, and out of nowhere I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said, "Stop playing with me," and I then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "No, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow. Powerful. And there you have it, folks. Whether it's Florida turning against Andrew Tate or the left humiliating a child's fighting for his life, one thing is clear. This isn't about justice, and it's not about politics. It's about control. So let me know what you think. Is Florida really standing for freedom, or are they just playing politics or lawfare? And how do the Democrats justify turning their backs on a child battling cancer? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to see the truth. And don't forget to subscribe for more episodes of The Kharisma Show. And until next time, take care, be well, and see you soon. Bye for now.